This is Bruges, a little city of romance and culture. The weather today isn't the greatest, but the city still impresses. This beautiful central square is very well preserved, and it's a great place to grab a drink or just take a stroll. In fact, the whole city is a nice place to walk around. But the best way to see Bruges? Definitely on two wheels.
Imagine you're here in Bruges and it's the 14th century. The city's on a par with Paris as well as London. Then something happens. It's called the Industrial Revolution. It misses Bruges completely, which is both a blessing and a curse. A curse because the city was left in poverty for many, many centuries. A blessing because the buildings that are here were left intact. The city itself is preserved, and the entire city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. 3 million visitors come here every single year and interact with the 20,000 inhabitants who make the central city their home.
Nobody here misses the Industrial Revolution. The sky today is about as dark as the day gets, and you can still see all of the old great buildings and historic city streets. But architecture and history are only two of the less indulgent reasons to visit Bruges. Canals are one of the city's iconic sites, and there are plenty of ways to enjoy them. I'm going to stick with my wheels today and take in some of the old Bruges streets and imagine I am passing by the workings of another century, at least until my legs give out.
So if you don't want to ride a bike, you can actually hop one of those boats. It's a 30-minute tour of the city, and it gives you a very different perspective from the water level up at the buildings that reside along the canals.
At one point, Bruges was a flourishing port full of wool, lace, and diamond traders. Eventually, an estuary full of silt cut Bruges off from the sea, and trade moved to other port cities like Antwerp. Today, the ambiance in Bruges is world-renowned. It is a can't-miss stop on any Flanders itinerary.
Well, I've done a lot of biking, so I think I'm entitled to a little treat. And here in Bruges, that treat's going to be chocolate. And there's a reason the chocolate I'm going to try today is in the shape of a swan.
Swans are an international symbol of romance, and they are all over the city. Legend has it that in the late 15th century, an official for the Austrian court who was working in Bruges, an official called Longneck, was executed by the citizens. The Austrian court punished the rebellious citizenry by mandating that swans be kept on the lakes and canals of their city for all eternity. Whatever the intent behind that punishment, it has turned out to be more like a gift.